You're just trying to align your expectations with what happens. And so the difficult thing is when you get frustration is when your expectations aren't met.
Sure.
And so I wouldn't necessarily say like we're shocked, but also just like we're excited to be here, you know, so.
You've been part of winning teams that have made it deep into the postseason. What does that winning recipe, I guess, look like from a coaching staff's perspective of a team that's going to make a deep run? What is the genetic makeup of a team who is not, letting their foot off the gas at this time of the season?
It's funny you say foot on the gas, so that's the name of our defensive back group chat. And so I think the main thing, especially with us being a young team, is continue to push ourselves and finding ways to evolve through adversity. Because, when we were a championship team, there was a lot of adversity that we had occurring on a day-to-day basis that we had to overcome. You have personalities, you got competitiveness. And so, just being able to evolve and create, the vision for what you want to be and like remaining present and understanding like we've got to take it day by day, week by week, because you could be on top of the world one week and then the next week everybody thinks you're not going to win another game. Yeah. And so the only thing that's constant is how you show up for yourself and the people around you and how you continue to put the work in.
By the way, Cats at the Bank Sunday. Wonder what the weather's going to be like.
Yes, certainly not as warm and nice as it has been today and yesterday. We've got a temperature roller coaster happening over the next several days. You'll notice tomorrow, clouds and cooler temperatures. That's going to allow for temperatures to only stay in the 50s, then right back up middle 70s for Saturday. And then another cold front is going to come through between Sunday and Monday. That's going to bring us not only some cooler temperatures, but rain chances as well. And then back to winter-like conditions for next week.
All right. Well, folks, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for joining us here for the news at 6. We are back with your news at 11, right after the Grinch. Merry Christmas, y'all. Tonight at 11, questions remain after a house fire at an East Charlotte home linked to a deadly child abuse case. Plus, a soldier's unexpected return home to Charlotte to spend Christmas with his family. WCNC Plus, stream now.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm meteorologist Becca Birdsall, and what was a record-breaking holiday between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we went 2 for 2, breaking both record high temperatures, not tying them, but we beat them by several degrees. So if you like warmer weather, you probably loved it. Enjoy it, soak up the sunshine, because we've got some big changes going into your Friday. We reached a high of 79 here in Charlotte, was 2 degrees above the record, which was back in 1955, reached 75 as a high today over towards Hickory, and even the lower 60s for the mountains. So even though the mountains are always cooler, it is still unseasonably warm from the mountains into the metro, but all of us are enjoying a fairly mild and comfortable evening. I'd say comfortable is going to be the word of choice for yesterday and today. So any evening plans, may just want to grab that light jacket as temperatures will be slowly cooling down. Record warmth, like I mentioned, for both Christmas Eve and day. Yesterday, we had a high temperature of 77 that actually beat the previous record by 4 degrees. Today, we overshot it, was just shy of 80 degrees. So where does that stand in terms of the records? It's important to note these records, they go all the way back to the 1800s. So this is unseasonably warm conditions. Yesterday, that record was 73 back in 2015. That was 10 years ago. And then today, that record was 77 back in 1955. And we smashed not one, but 2 of them. Taking a look at the last 5 years, the Christmases in Charlotte. Last year, we had a high temperature, very seasonal for this time of year, just a few degrees above average, 56 and 32. But if we look back, actually 2022, well, that 13 degrees low temperature was actually the second coldest morning for Christmas Day. And then guess what? Fourth warmest, 2021. And that was actually one of the days that we actually reached 70 degrees and above. So we'll have to make a new graphic now, but the warmest Christmases on record for Charlotte, well, the number one was that 1955, but the second one was 2015. If you'll notice, that was actually the record that we had over towards Christmas Eve, and then there's that 2021. So now Charlotte has hit that 70-degree mark 7 times, 70 degrees or above. So that goes all the way back to 1879. So yes, today was warm. It is not normal for this time of year. If you are visiting or if you are just from here, lived here a long time, this is not something that we do every year. So enjoy it if you do like the warmer conditions. Outside now, we're all cooling down. 69 currently in Charlotte. It is 66 as you step outdoors over towards Hickory. Starting to cool down into the upper 50s over towards the mountains. So like I mentioned, maybe a little sweater if you do have any evening plans, but temperatures will be cooling down pretty quickly. Middle 60s around 8, 9 o'clock. Around midnight, that is when we'll start to fall into the upper 50s. This morning started off at 50, so as we go into tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit more mild because we do have big changes on the way. Cloud cover as well as an approaching cold front. So overnight lows dropping to the lower to middle 50s, but we'll likely see that high temperature come for Friday just after midnight. So I'll show you what. We've got the cloud cover here. We've got that cold front draped up to the north. You can see a couple of showers just alongside it. So as we go into tonight, there's going to be a potential, especially for the mountains, to see a couple of those light showers to roll in. This could extend all the way alongside that I-40 corridor going into your Friday morning, but it's going to be mainly dry here for the Charlotte area, other than a chance for a few sprinkles. So as we go into your weather impacts, yes, we had a record warm holiday, but it is going to be overcast and a big drop in temperatures compared to today to tomorrow. There's that cold front going to slide through across the mountains and into the metro. So behind this cold front, going to be clouds, cooler temperatures, but out ahead of it, going to be much warmer temperatures. So as we fast forward, you'll notice this kind of stalls out as we go into your Friday, but it's going to lift right back up, and Saturday is going to be once again near record highs. So futurecast temps Friday morning, like I mentioned, just after midnight, probably our high temperature of the day, upper 50s likely, and then staying in the 40s and 50s throughout the afternoon. Temperatures will not be budging up much, especially if you live in those higher elevations. And then here comes Saturday, back into the 70s once again. So futurecast, here comes the rain showers tonight from the mountains and into the foothills as we go into early Friday. Friday is overall mainly dry, other than those couple of sprinkles like I mentioned early in the day, but during those afternoon and evening, really not going to be much. Highs likely for Friday, staying in the 50s, and then Saturday, record high temperature likely to be broken once again. That will be 3 for 3 if the forecast stands as of now. Mix of sunshine and clouds, beautiful weather if you do have any plans. And then Sunday brings some changes, a little bit of a cold air damming setup expected for Sunday afternoon, meaning clouds, cooler temperatures, and highs only staying in the 60s. We'll have a chance for a couple of rain showers going into your Sunday. It's going to be minimal, holding on to about a 20% chance now. Don't cancel any outdoor plans. Here comes Monday morning. Rain chances begin in the mountains. Really starts to pick up a Monday afternoon. This is a look at noon here in the Charlotte area. This is all alongside that big cold front. So once we get that cold front actually passing through, it's going to bring that northwest flow snow up towards the higher elevations, create some snow showers for them. But more significantly, bring us a cold blast of winter-like weather. So as we go into your Sunday and Monday, high temperatures still hanging on into the 60s. Notice this up and down pattern. Well, yeah, that's going to continue not only into tomorrow, Saturday, the weekend, and then here comes that big cool down starting Tuesday morning down into the 20s and 30s, highs staying in the 40s throughout the afternoon. That is actually going to be our first below average day quite some time. And we'll warm back up into the lower to middle 50s as we go later as we go into the start of the new year. However, that is pretty seasonable for this time of year. Rain chances will be highest going into your Monday. After that, rain chances will dwindle out. We'll have a high pressure system take over behind that cold front, meaning dry conditions can be expected and really not a lot of weather will be happening. The bigger story will be that drop off in temperatures. Our average high for this time of year, 53. So when we look at morning temperatures, that 53 degrees going into tomorrow, that really tells the big story. We'll be starting off in the upper 40s for both Saturday and Sunday, and then here comes that actual sweater weather going into your Tuesday, but it gets even colder than that in this Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast because your New Year's Eve is going to be chilly to start off. Middle 20s, high still staying in the 50s, like I mentioned. Tons of sunshine to go around, so you don't have to worry about that rain gear if you do have any New Year's Eve plans. And then for New Year's Day, that is going to be for Thursday, another freezing start, but highs back into the middle 50s. So I'd say, honestly, not too bad. But as we look at that 10-day forecast, you'll notice we stay below average in the 50s as we go into that next weekend. That is going to be the first weekend of the new year. So enjoy the warmer weather now because winter, well, it's coming right back in, especially starting next Tuesday.